Today we have a 2023 TRD Pro Sequoia Solar Octane with the tow mirrors. We're going to take a quick walk around. Before we look at any true details, let's just circle the truck. I don't know how good the camera's going to pick it up, but this thing is bright. Looks like a nice bright orange. When there's more clouds in the sky, it looks more like a red. Very interesting. I'm going to focus on these tow mirrors. I'm going to tell you, if you're someone who doesn't tow a lot, you probably don't need them. But if you do tow, might be something you want to get. They're gigantic. Driving around with them took a little minute to get used to, but definitely useful if you're going to use them for towing. Let's start up front. This is what everybody always talks about. The front end of the Sequoia did something they wish the Tundra did as well, which is the separation between the front bumper and the front grille. With the body color right there, the Tundra, it just is all black right there. So this obviously has 360 cameras. You can see the camera there. It's a TRD Pro, so you get the heritage grille, you get the marker lights because it's a little bit wider, and you get the light bar. You get some nice fog lights there on the lower bumper. These are premium LED lights right here. Auto leveling. Obviously, it's iForce Max. That's all you can get when it comes to the Sequoia. 437 horse, 583 torque. It's a fun vehicle to drive. Gigantic vehicle that you can drive, and it feels like a Honda Civic sometimes because this engine really moves this truck with no problem. It says TRD Pro up on the hood. Again, the optional tow mirror. Gigantic, factory from Toyota. People have been asking for a good factory option from Toyota, and now they get it. This has an optional roof rack on it, which is pretty cool if you're going to take this thing off-road for real. Put a big extra tire up there. All right, let's look at the wheels. Pretty much the same setup as the TRD Pro Tundra. You're going to hear a lot of references to the TRD Pro Tundra of the new generation because that's what this channel is, a Tundra channel. And this is the SUV version of the Tundra pretty much. So you got 285, 65, 18. BBS Forge wheels look great. These side steps are awesome. Those are the TRD side steps. I like how they hug to the body. Nice feel to them. They definitely look like they could take a beating. Not a lot of markings on the side of this, which is definitely something I prefer, as we've talked about before. It doesn't say Sequoia anywhere on the side. It just says it on the back. Now, it looks like you have a gigantic trunk here, but you have a third row of seating situation that we're going to open up the vehicle and look at momentarily. So you got the over fenders that have the camo in it, and that's what the TRD Pros are known for. It says Sequoia on the back. Dual tip. I like the tail light setup. There's blue around the logo there because it's a hybrid, of course. Not a bad looking vehicle. Marker lights. Big Sequoia. How do you feel about the Sequoia written across the back like that? Let me know in the comments below. Let's open up the door. Start checking the inside. So this has the black interior. Now with Solar Octane, you can only get black. In the other colors, you have the option of the red or the black. Could you imagine a red interior with this exterior? Me neither. Toyota across the dash. That is what is on the Pros for Sequoia and Tundra. 14-inch screen, JBL sound system. One thing that kind of blew my mind, as you can see, very similar setup to the Tundra. This has a moonroof, okay? But it's not a pano roof. There is a pano roof that is optional, but even if you get the pano, it only goes to right here, and then there's a big bump in the roof back there. And it kind of shocks me. This truck is just over $80,000 on the MSRP, that they don't have a pano on this, because the TRD Pro is the super sought after trim of Sequoia. I would think they would have it. But as you can see, you get little TRD trinkets everywhere. Start button over there. We're going to go around to the other side, but TRD on the steering wheel. Red stitching. TRD Pro. Camo. Black looks really good. If you're new to the channel, if you're stopping in for the first time, I have a black TRD Pro which is actually sitting right over there. And that has the red interior. And we always talk about how does the interior look in the new gen Tundra, whether it be red or black. And there you get a good idea. Before we start messing with the interior controls there. Oh, also, this is cool. I always like to talk about these. You get the Sequoia all-weather floor liners, and they do have some great coverage. It says Sequoia TRD Pro tire track, but they have great coverage all around the outside. It's not just a mat sitting in the middle, it's stuff will get under. They've definitely upgraded their mats. Let's talk about the inside of the truck when it comes to the rear seating. Now, you get 2 captain's chairs back here. As you can see, little area in the middle. Nothing down there, no cup holders. Just a very good floor liner, it looks like. And then you get the folded seats back there, which we will check out momentarily, and a trunk space. When those seats are down like that, you get a lot of space to mess around with. But when they're up, you have no trunk space at all, looks like. But you could fit very large people back here, no big deal. You can have a lot of height. This hump in the roof makes everything so, you know, folks will fit no problem. But I do like the captain's chairs. I think that's cool. I would think there'd be some cup holders or something down here, but I guess not. I know people have to go to the rear and all, but maybe something that like folds up. I don't know. You get your rear climate control here, and you get a few outlets to plug in your mobile devices. But I do like the fact that we still have the camo and we still have the stitching. Soft text, of course. This is not the genuine leather of the upper trims, but not a bad looking interior. And as we always say with the Tundra, I wish this was a black headliner. That would bring it all together. All right. And here's your options as far as trunk goes. So if you hit this button here, it'll lift up the seats. And you can do that with the right as well. So that's power. I just want to show you how little of space there is when these seats are up. All right, so now, the camera probably won't be able to show you, but this is all you get. You get this little shelf and a little bit under here. And that is shocking. You get an outlet over here. You'd think you need more space. But when the seats are closed and you're not using them, you're gonna have a good amount of space here, but that's just, people have always been saying that this is where they feel like the Sequoia missed with the trunk space. I get it. So let's put these seats back down. Now, once they go all the way down, something you may want to invest in is some kind of cover to put over the seats. Maybe like a, kind of like a rugged floor mat or something so you don't ruin the seats. You're all set. If you're gonna have 4 passengers or less, and these are gonna stay down, you're in good shape, because then you have a nice amount of trunk space. But if those seats are up, keep that in mind. I guess that's why you can get the optional roof rack. Put all your stuff on the top. You'll have to let me know what you think. Now, this is gonna be the subject of the video. Trunk space, does this push you away from Sequoia? Or will you keep these seats down anyway? I want to hear from anyone that's in the market for this vehicle, if it's something that will affect your purchase. You also get another outlet up there for the 3rd row passengers. Start her up. Red TRD start button there. Says Sequoia flashed across the screen. Start over here. Memory seats. I mean, the thing's pretty much loaded up nicely. Let me turn the radio down and off. If you are someone that owns a Tundra, or someone that is thinking about owning a Tundra, everything is pretty much the same in here. I mean, this has to do with your tow mirrors. If you want the light on the outside, and if you want them to, show you right now, hit that button, they retract out if you're doing some towing. So they extend, and retract. And they are power folding. So you could have it down here, it's automatic. You could fold them yourself manually, but the automatic button, so when you lock it, they'll fold into the window there. Again, I applaud the setup of the new generation Sequoia and Tundra with the interior. A very nice flow, as you can see. There's not a lot of random chrome these days. Everything looks really good down here. You get some cup holders. This can close if you don't want those cup holders. You get the wireless charging station. This obviously has wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, pretty much everything. Your climate control right there. You could separate the front seats from the rear, which is cool as far as the temperatures you want to use. This has multi-terrain select, crawl control, downhill assist, locking rear diff because it's a TRD. You got your center console there, as we saw from the other shot from the passenger seat. So a nice amount of space for the driver. This has the optional dash cam here. It has the digital rear view mirror. Up here is for your sunglasses if you'd like, as you can see. Same as always on these Toyota trucks and SUVs. And you have the controls for the moonroof above us. TRD steering wheel, digital gauge cluster. A lot of different options here. And you can adjust this one on the right to whatever you want it to be. And that's where you can do your trailer setup. You could do all of your, blind spot monitoring, parking sensors, all that right there. This is very easy to use. If you've never used this before, it's extremely easy to use. And you definitely get used to it. That's your radio setting. And if you're new to Tundra or Sequoia, this screen is insanely easy to use. 14-inch. It is not distracting at all. You get all sorts of options on here. It shows you what the vehicle's doing as far as MPG, the history of it, your settings, your phone, your music. When you hook up your iPhone or Android, you'll see a little marker up here that takes you to the phone. But you also have some different panoramic view options here. You hit view and it shows you around the vehicle, as you can see there. Bird's eye. If we put the vehicle in reverse, it has a nice camera with movable lines for you. So you could get the vehicle, into a tight spot. It is quite a large vehicle, so stuff like this is definitely good for, the views of the truck. Just making sure you get in there safe. Different camera views you can select here. And there's sensors all over this thing. So if you're getting close to anything, you'll see it pop up on the screen, and it kind of sounds like you're in a missile lock situation in a fighter jet. And that's around the sides of the vehicle, as you can see. You could do auto, and it'll show you all the different options. This is if you're off-road with it. Check it out there. So you definitely get a lot of different options when it comes to the bird's eye camera view. And this is when this screen comes into play great, because the old generation, it was a low resolution camera. This is definitely a better option than what we used to have, especially with the lines and, with all the sensors on these vehicles nowadays. If you're gonna hit something, you're gonna know before you hit it. But very simple, very easy to use. It is a new system from the old generation, but absolutely a pleasure. I have had no freezing, no issues at all. And I've only had this vehicle for a few days to review, but even with my Tundra, the same setup, I've never had any issues with any freezing or anything like that. And that's a quick walk around of the TRD Pro Sequoia for 2023. Ground up remodel, beautiful truck, skid plate TRD Pro suspension, just like the Tundra. This one, stickers for just over $80,000 with a couple options on it, including the big roof rack there. Would you spend $80,000 on this vehicle? And if you go Sequoia, would you go TRD Pro or would you go some of the other trims? Look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Until next time, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at TundraDude34, TundraDude34@gmail.com. Guys, have a great day. Be safe, be well. Can't wait to hear what you have to say about not only the Sequoia, but the solar octane color. Is this an option you would select? Or is this too big of a vehicle for a color like this? I think it's fun. We can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about it. Be safe, be well, and I'll talk to you soon.